Hello everyone, my name is Lancel90 and welcome back to Let's Play Subnautica. Some liquid in us, how about that? And a container full of stuff. Means we're gonna need titanium. Cool. Guess I'm just gonna fill this room with crap. Think there's anything I need to put in the center or on the walls in here. I can get two in there side by side if I get in all my options here. Base is probably gonna get pretty cluttered here. All of my decorations and whatnot. But this counter. You can't fit up there. There we go. Decorated. Water out of here. I'm also gonna pull the med kits out of here. Throw them into these storage containers. Habitat builder away depending on what we want to do next. Speaking of, what do we want to do next? Probably need to go get our power supply thing. Got the Neptune one. Not to actually launch off the planet quite yet, even though we have the launch platform. Lit a backfire. Also read through our databank again, unfortunately. Neptune escape rocket. Blueprint set was developed at Altera headquarters specifically to get you off of 4546B and back to the nearest phase gate. Takes into account local gravity, astronomical data, and available resources. Is piloted by an AI. May be adapted to employ whatever power source is available, but require a lot of it. Consists of 5 independently constructible elements. Launch platform. The platform provides a solid base from which to launch the rocket. Gantry provides structural support. Stage 1, primary thrusters for reaching atmospheric escape velocity. 2, fuel reserve. 3, cockpit. Features 1 person life support, short-range communications, adaptable power supply, orbital shielding. Onboard time capsule. Warning, onboard AI will not launch if local threats are detected. Warning, these alien materials to power the craft may increase its range in unpredictable ways. Suit Mark III. Pressure reactivated waterproof nanosuit is a range of mechs designed to protect the pilot from extreme environments. The Mark III is the latest iteration and has so far only been rolled out by Altera for their own high-value phase gate related operations. The suit is fully insulated from the outside environment. Powerful hydraulic limbs allow for manipulation of objects in rear and powered traversal of the environment. Rear-mounted thrusters provide normability in low-gravity environments. Long-range modifications are available to facilitate resource extraction and enhance exploration. Downloads: World Survivors, Captain's Log. Craig McGill Simulator .VRAT. Size 1 player, Captain Hot Dog Hollister. At Boreal 9, resources normal. You're exploring a quiet alien backwater when the ship you approached here, arrived in here, implodes. Must be the arachnid kidney poachers. Quick, what will you do? Search the crash site. Farm alien plants. Use tectonic de-imploder. Unavailable. What? Tectonic de-imploder. Assess what Craig McGill would do. After foraging for some hours, you collected a number of potentially farmable foodstuffs. Which will you sustain yourself with? Stank root, tree roaches, starwall eggs. While the starwall eggs are nutritious, the life cycle of these vast space-faring creatures is much too slow to sustain a farm. And besides, their mother is extremely angry with you. Fight the starwall, apologize to the starwall, accept your fate. Craig McGill knows there's no reasoning with the mother scorned. You are not so much torn apart as swallowed whole and disintegrated. The atoms you thought were you gradually redistributed to the service of the narwhal's continual survival. Would you like to continue? Pod 7 transmission origin. Distress coordinates has been received from by Pod 7, but the attached coordinates were corrupted. Last sale photographic data has been downloaded and analyzed. Reported to have problems with their onboard fabricator, sunk to 200 meters, an area of low ecological activity. Transmission origin approximately 1 kilometer southwest of the Aurora's stern section, i.e. in a very scary area. Remember what I said? It's the spires, bro. The spires are scary. Their HQ last recorded transmissions.
Average long-range transmission delay, 8 hours. Opening last recorded transmissions.
This is an emergency distress call. Aurora is on collision course with planet 4546b. Sending all available environmental data. Please respond with rescue solution. Out.
This is Altera HQ. Attached to this message, you should find the blueprints for an escape ship that we calculate will be capable of breaking orbit and getting you back to the nearest phase gate. Now, it's designed to use materials you can find in situ, but it's gonna need one hell of a power source. Now, we'll be sure to...
Aurora long-range communications relay offline.
Drive core shielding breach. The Aurora's drive core is shielded by a thick metal shell, which breached in multiple locations shortly after it crashed. Once breached, it will continue to leak radiation to the surrounding environment until its breaches are sealed. At that point, the radiation environment will dissipate over time. This procedure should only be attempted with radiation protection on a fully charged repair tool. Documents. Altera Alms pamphlet. Parody is an archaic concept with the realism of today's Alterans rendered obsolete. We understand that we are each responsible for ourselves, but the best way to get the most for ourselves is to work together with Altera. The implication of this reasoning is clear. If someone is in need, they must find a way to be needed. Altera Arms is a training academy for those who need to be needed. We're not a charity because we do not ask for handouts. We prefer to think of ourselves as a philanthropic, beneficial facilitation service, promoting synergy between employer and workforce. AA operates on a lottery system. By investing any number of credits, you'll be entered into our prize draw. Larger investments yield a higher chance of winning. Your credits will go towards training unskilled colonists in vital tasks such as maintenance and interpersonal skills. Colonists receive this training voluntary and free of charge on the condition of minimal contracts with one of our investors on completion of their training. Relationship contract, legal recording.
Listen, I know I don't have the right to make demands of you, but I need you to understand that I want to change our arrangement.
I hear what you're saying, and I will try to respect it. How would you like to change it?
I would like to reduce our contact hours.
How much further can we do that?
to 0.
You're dumping me.
I'm changing the terms of our relationship.
How is it still a relationship if we don't see each other?
It's a relationship of a kind. You have so many expectations.
I feel you just want to spend more time with that dumb guy in his dumb robot suit.
That's not a feeling. It's a judgment. And I feel hostility in what you're saying. Perhaps your jealousy is a sign that you need to take another look at your business model. Why can't you just be happy for me?
I am happy for you, and I'm happy for all the guys in the prawn bay. I'm just not happy for me.
This is why I want to change our arrangement.
Relationship contrast? That's weird. Responsible Anonymous Relationships, forward by Jimmy Eckhart. All of the good things in life are commodities. We trade love just as we buy and sell stock. We engage in human relationships when there is a fair exchange of value, support, motivation, and affection. Nothing good is ever free. If every physical good in Federation came from a single supplier, it would constitute a dangerous monopoly. Personal relationships are the same. It's important for people to get what they need from multiple sources. If a person finds a better source of goods they require, they're not wronging their original supplier by changing their purchasing arrangements. One member of relationships would feel threatened or jealous. They must look at their own business model and ask whether, performing competitively, there will always be room for today's menu. Starter, Space Bear Voulez. Since their introduction into the interstellar vacuum in the 21st century, microscopic tardigrades, or space bears, have adapted and flourished where no other life forms have survived. Condensed into a smooth, nutty, protein-rich soup, they are a freshest local ingredient available to travelers on long-haul space flights. Main, cottage pie or nutrient block, rehydrated minced beef and some gravy, served with the topping of mashed Chinese potato, pickled fresh this morning from onboard grow beds, and a side of sauteed Chinese potato plant leaves. For the time-conscious consumer, the usual nutrient block options are available. They may be consumed cold or reconstituted on the on-site fabricator. Dessert, dried fruits and nuts. Unfortunately, a recent accident in Cargo Bay 3 involving the incorrect application of a repulsion cannon, in combination with a modified battery charger, resulted in venting into space all of our dehydrated desserts. Fruits and nuts will be the only available desserts for the next 39 weeks. Fancy on profile, Altera Corp, one of the largest suppliers of spacefaring technologies to and consumer electronics in the Federation. The official supplier of the TSF, consistently ranked among the galaxy's best employers. Began life as a defense manufacturer in the mid-22nd century. National motto, get what you deserve. Although most transgovs can trace their roots back to Earth, Altera, literally meaning by Earth, is the only one brazen enough to take the name. During the expansion, Altera supplied arms to all sides, acquiring and housing a vast colonist workforce and making the transition from manufacturer to corporate state. Altera's threat to cease trade was one of the turning points in the conflict, bringing out the end of hostilities and signing of the Charter. Free enterprise within Altera space is encouraged, but competition is tight, and all goods exported off-world must be Terra-branded. Profitable businesses are brought out by the state, owners ascending to the board of directors. Well-known Altera technologies like the Cyclops submersible originated with such private enterprises. Despite superficial similarities to national governments, the corporation's lawyers have always maintained that it has no legal obligation to its employees. It voluntarily elects to take on roles served by the democratically elected government. This claim has not yet been tested in Federation courts. Living in a dystopia of mega corporations, basically. Completely free market. What can we learn from the hive mind of Stradar 6? How are the individuals that make up a hive mind to be categorized? Are they merely dumb components of the larger intelligent organism, or is the larger mind merely a product of independent organisms? Can it be both? Define organisms by their traits, but find invariably that these traits depend on those of their environment. The concept of a tadpole is meaningless without the concept of frog it can develop into. The idea of a predator is empty without an understanding of its prey. This begs the question, if we defined everything by reference to everything else, what have we actually explained? An illustrative experiment was recently performed on the hive mind colony discovered on Stradar 6. A device was placed outside the nest which would electrocute individuals approaching it. An ant colony would have lost many individuals before a basic danger signal was successfully communicated between them, resulting in a learned avoidance of the device. Successful but costly. Strader 6 colony quickly formed into two factions. One attempted to move the device by brute force, sacrificing individuals to do so. The second attempted to recover the device in sand. Two goals being mutually exclusive, a fight ensued. The first faction was beaten, and in virtue of the reduced numbers, the device was safely buried. After survivors called a truce, from the perspective of the individuals, this experience must have been horrific. From the perspective of the hive mind, the nagging problem had been overcome with the most effective solution. This perspective is the correct one. We suggest that it is neater. By attempting to fit such entities into our rigid set of concepts, we're painting onto the world a false impression of concreteness and meaning, which is a reflection of our concepts of ourselves. You describe Strader 6 as individuals attacking one another, just as we describe microbes in the human body, yet the Strader colony, like the body, cannot be healthy as a whole without the aggressions of its components. Describe neutrons in the brain as being dumb, but the brain as a whole as being intelligent. But when an idea takes hold in the brain and forces out inferior ones, do we describe this as an act of aggression? Do we mourn our dead neurons? When a philosophy or technology takes hold in human society, when wars are fought over them and people die, is that rightly seen as being good or evil? This is not to undermine the meaning of our existence. From where we stand, our existence is very serious indeed. But is our civilization and our universe really any different from the colony on Strader 6? Is intelligence something limited to the flesh and blood, or is the universe truly one giant intelligent system, and we are but an amoeba blowing self-important potholes in its surface? We'll do well as scientists to remember that our goal is not to paint the world as we see it, but as it truly is. Fauna, scavengers, bleeder. Can bleed us. Parasitic organism, a little more complex than a common space tick, but just as dirty. Ductile sac, used for collection and digestion of blood drawn from most host creatures. Jaw, rows of teeth and mandibles used to attach to the skin of its victims. Behavior, the bleeder's low speed and poor defensive system suggests they evolved primarily as carrion feeders. They're also prone to target larger living creatures, which are less likely to notice and take actions against the parasite. Assessment: inconvenience and unhygienic, avoid or incapacitate. Alright. So I think we've skipped some things because the data pad kept bouncing straight to the things when I was trying to check it to see if there were voice logs, and then it would disappear from the list of things that we still needed to read. If that makes sense. And me grab some French fried taters. How much time I got? We're at 18 minutes. Monitor on game. Okay. Blueprints. So build a bed. Although we filled this room up. I guess I do still have one spare room here. I say we might want to leave one central room free. Have fiber mesh to sit there. Bed is actually useful. Skip night cycles, which can be helpful. What else do we need to take care of here? Well, I think we can actually start building the go start building the launch pad, and we can start building the prawn. Right. Good, build the prawn. We're gonna need more heroes. Stalker teeth as well. Probably gonna need more lead. The rebreather on. I'm gonna leave the radiation helmet behind because where we're going, we probably shouldn't need the radiation. Should I bring a gun? Probably a prudent idea. Probably fit one more potato in me now. Gotta go find venom sacs, lead. All sorts of nonsense, really.
Welcome aboard. All systems online.
Guess we could also go straight that direction. I've been going that way. Fires. Sparse Reef might be in that direction, and Sparse Reef isn't fun. Go down to 300 meters now, so it should be easier than it was before. Investigate this wreck. Stone. Sacks. Still calling them venom sacks, even though that's not what they're called anymore. Now they're gel sacks or whatever. For the door to this sword. The vehicle parked near it. Keep track of which way's up. Wish I could reorient myself, but you can't. Can't reorient yourself. What I was trying to say before, on like Kerbal Space Program, you can do a roll to reorient yourself. I don't think you can roll here. I'm gonna want to build a prawn suit. Part of why we're getting stuff out of here. Cyclops docking bay repair module. Lock. That's mainly for. equipment. This is blocked off. This is actually... At least it seems like the glitch that made it so multiple doors spawned on top of each other is gone. Pity. Flooded. I'm gonna run back to the... Flooded, so I'm gonna come back in. I want to be able to reorient myself so badly. How did I end up in the same room that I explored before? That was my guess. In here, this is the first cut open. The way we went up was up here. This is where we got the first stuff. Open this. It's already been looted. This path. Have I actually been to this wreck before? I don't think so. I have. Did I miss a section? Might have been just because I didn't have the laser cutter. Like that these membrane dream trees are pink. Gel sacks are also pink. Capola. Warper. I don't have the I have the stasis can so I can scan it.
Warning, maximum depth reached. Hull damage imminent.
Off Warper. Lid. Venom sacs. Attacked by something. Lead. I don't know if that did anything to it, but
Welcome aboard, Captain.
let's do this. Or sack. Hell yeah. I haven't been looking hard enough because kind of hidden. Hard to see around these things because these things kind of blur out the color. Jail sacks. Scary monsters out here. One was freaking stuck in the ground, which is dumb. That's something we can grow. I'm probably gonna have to look that up. See if we can grow them like some of the other stuff. That would be pretty big deal if we could. We're all out of time for this video. I hope you all enjoyed and have a good day.